It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. I'll wait till she comes up. Actually, let's give her a hand. Alaska Native Sisterhood member, Camp 5 Deshu, Karen Taug, Shah, Reagan Coco. She is a board member of Sea Alaska Corporation and Sea Alaska Heritage Institute and Tlingit and Haida Housing Authority. She is also the proud grandmother of Axel Taug. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good G's to our school administration, our teachers, students, and community members for having me here today to honor and celebrate Elizabeth Ravitch. My English name is Karen Taug. Gunshaw Yukov Duasak, Yale Nakasati, Kutnahari Ayahat, Yakay. Glad to see you all here. As Lily said, I'm a Ravencoho and my clan is Lipnahati. My family roots are deep here in the Chilkat and Chilkoot Valley. My grandfather, Judson Brown, was the first Native to graduate from an integrated public school here in Haines and in Alaska in 1929. Judson was the first mayor of Haines in 1932 and served 2 terms. His grandfather, Peter Brown, and father, James Wheeler Brown, were from Chilton, where their family lived until moving into town. His mother, Mary Spurgeon Brown, was raised in Cleveland. Our family love story is Judson's mom and dad met while fishing in a fish camp in Yendesekan. At former, for those of you who don't know, Yendesekan. So, Elizabeth, she was an Alaska Native woman of the Tlingit Nation who was instrumental in the campaign against ending discrimination that plagued the Alaska Territory. Elizabeth was raised in Petersburg. In 1931, she married her husband Roy, and they lived in Taug, Alaska, where Roy served 4 terms as mayor. The Paraviches were concerned about racial discrimination and inequities, and looking for greater access to lawmakers who could effect change, they moved to Juneau, and even there found extensive social and racial discrimination against Alaska Native people. Despite Alaska Natives becoming citizens in 1924, they fought in World War II, actually helping defend America by speaking their Tlingit language. In addition, they all paid their fair share of taxes, but they still were consistently discriminated against and restricted. Alaska Natives couldn't buy a home to live in. Did you imagine that? They couldn't get a doctor appointment. Whereas you were all here today, not everyone was allowed to go to public school in most of the territories of Alaska. Elizabeth and her husband, Roy, fought for their campaign tirelessly. They did that by going door to door. Back then, there were no cell phones, there was no television, no taxi cabs. You know, they had to do things, they had to get where they were going by walking and by taking boats. They fought for 4 years writing legislation, and they also enlisted the help of other Alaska Natives and lobbying territorial legislators for support. In 1945, their anti-discrimination bill passed the House and was sent to the Senate. On February 16, 1945, after a 2-hour-long hearing, Elizabeth stood and delivered an impassioned and eloquent speech that garnered the support needed to pass the Anti-Discrimination which was the first anti-discrimination law in Alaskan history and the first of its kind in the United States. To quote one of Elizabeth's statements, asking you to give me equal rights implies that they are yours to give. Instead, I must demand that you stop trying to deny me the rights all people deserve. Elizabeth and Roy were certainly ahead of their times in their work for anti-discrimination. This was 18 years before Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech to end discrimination for Black people in the United States. The Senate voted 11 to 5 for House Resolution 14, providing full and equal accommodations, facilities, and privileges to all citizens in places of public accommodations within the jurisdiction of the Territory of Alaska to provide penalties for violation. Today, some of Elizabeth's work is still alive and well. In April 1988, Steve Cooper, the governor at the time, established the first Elizabeth Bradford Day as April 21st. That date was later changed to February 16th, in observance of the day in which, in 1945, the Discrimination Act was approved. This is what is bringing us all together today. Most recent memorial respects for Elizabeth are in our capital city, June, a mural by Crystal World was installed on the exterior of the June Public Library. Also in 2021, the PBS Kids Animated Education Series, Molly and Denali, aired an episode called Molly and Elizabeth, which remembers the legacy of Elizabeth Bradford. Please, let's all celebrate the work of Elizabeth and her passion for equal rights and enjoy the rest of the assembly today to celebrate. Good speech.